And without any further ado, I'm going to hand you over to Parth Ravani, who is CRM Analytics Ambassador. He's a J2S mentor and a principal analytics developer at Agent. I'll allow him to kind of do any further introductions, but please make him feel welcome. Over to you, Parth.
Okay, thank you so much, Manny. And thank you all for having me today over here. And today we'll be talking about Data Cloud and CRM Analytics, how we are looking forward to the future, what all things we are going to use. So any one of us who is working in Salesforce or who might be working something related to CRMA, I assure you, you are going to use Data Cloud in some way or another in upcoming future. So do have a look at the course which ENS is published, and yeah, get yourself certified for the same. So let me quickly share my screen. Okay, so forward-looking statements. So whatever things I may be putting it over here, based on this, please don't make any of your purchasing orders, any of your purchasing decisions. And I may be talking about a couple of things which might not be GA in a way, but yeah, I'll still restrict myself because I shouldn't. But yes, don't make any purchasing decision based on this, and let's move forward. So we are going to look into a couple of things today. We are going to look at, the data cloud part. We are going to like fast forward it, and we are going to focus on the BDT part and how we are going to consume the DMOs and how we are going to use it in our dashboards. We are going to mainly focus on under that area. But yes, we'll just go through all the things which we have over here, just a couple of slides. So the history of data cloud, and as similar to CRM Analytics. CRM Analytics has n number of names, right? It started from Wave and Einstein and W, and so on. So similarly, we also have many names for our data cloud. It started from 2020, like from Customer 360 audiences, Salesforce CDP. Then in 2022, it was Marketing Cloud Customer Data Platform. Again, in the same year, they called it Salesforce Genie. But again, and that was in the Dreamforce in 2022. But yeah, they dropped the name, but they still have the mascot, the cute mascot Genie. That's still going on, and currently it's known as Data Cloud. And if we move forward, these are the couple of terminologies which I wouldn't take much time for these as of now, but these are just like ABCs of the data cloud from start to end. If I could just say a sentence about each, or yeah, so data stream is something where you create a connection sort of thing with outside world other than data cloud. So you have n number of different connectors available over here, out of the box connectors, where so you don't need to go and create any sort of integration. You just need to enter the credentials and you're done. Boom, you have the data. Then DLOs are the thing which are getting created. So once you establish a connection, a data stream is created, then the data as it is being brought and stored into DLOs. Then while creating those, again, there we have another thing which is called object category, which is again an important thing. We have three different types of object categories, which would be profile, other, and engagement. So based on what type of object that is, we assign that particular category. So if it is something related to contact, or let's say agent or users or accounts, so over there we'll be making it profile. If it is something transactional based, so that were like creating a case or those kind of things, or which is denoting some sort of event, there that will be considering as an event. And again, if we consider that uh, as an engagement, we also need to specify the date at which which is pointing towards like triggering point of that particular event or something like that. Then again, we have DMOs. So DMOs are nothing but it's a 360 customer 360 platform, which it is known. So they have a standard database structure, we could say in layman terms. So they what we want over here, we want to merge or unify data from multiple sources, and we want to standardize all of those things. So what we are doing over here is we might have DLOs from various different sources, but at the end we want to standardize everything. So to standardize, in order to standardize those things, we create a standard DMO structure, and we map all the things to those particular structure itself. I believe this is taking more time, so let us move to the things for which we have actually gathered today. Yeah, so what I'll do is we'll go to the demo mode. I will take you to the org, and first thing, so this is what Data Cloud home screen looks like. And the first part, what we do in CRMA, we bring data into the CRMA, right? We create some sort of connections, and then we move forward. So in the same way, over here in this org, uh, we need to do those things. We need to bring data in. So that part we are doing it through here, through data streams. We create different data streams. For now, we have a couple of them. Then we map it to DMOs, and then we can perform other things. So we'll talk about that. But suppose let us just get started with this particular thing, which is called batch transforms. So batch transforms is a thing where we can do our ETL part, our data transformations. So again, there are two types of it. This is the live streaming one. It is near real time, and this is the one which you're going to talk about right now. And we are going to consume DMOs, and the space is default for now. Okay. So when we start using this, so we can see that it is giving us a quite familiar look. It is quite similar to the UI of a recipe builder or a recipe data prep in CRMA. So over here we have option to choose input nodes. Over here we'll be able to see existing DMOs. As we have selected DMOs at the starting, we will only be seeing the DMOs over here. If we had selected DLOs, then we would be seeing only DLOs over here. So over here we'll be seeing custom DMOs, and we'll also be seeing the standard DMOs. So what do I mean by that? Over here we can see a prefix, which is SSOT, which is single source of truth. So wherever we see this thing, and at the as a prefix, that particular DMO, we can say generally that is a standard or out of the box DMO. So same like how Salesforce gives us couple of objects by itself, the standard objects, out of the box objects. Same way, and the 360 structure, the DMO structure, it has the standard objects and couple of things which a business might have, which is unique to its business itself. So those kind of products, or those kind of objects which are not available over here, we can again create new DMOs for those cases, and those could be called as custom DMOs. And again, if we create DMOs from here, from BDTs, those can be also called custom DMOs. So basically, we can say that DMOs are a sort of table views. We can relate it to that. So DLOs are something uh, which is like a proper table, which we could compare it with the actual table, and DMOs we could compare it with with views of that views which we used to create in back in SQL. So again, the custom DMOs which we create from BDT is the batch data transform which we are going to do right now. The custom DMOs which we create from here, they we can't relate it to views, because those will again be, in a way, it will be like proper tables, the custom DMOs which we created from here. Okay, so DMOs are the output node of batch data transform. The same way we used to have data set over there and the recipes, and data set we used to consume it and the dashboards. Similarly, we plan the same for DMOs. Okay, so say while we select while we select this DMOs over here, let's say I want to select the account, so we get the same kind of feature for selecting what number of what exact fields do you want from account, the same way we used to have it over there. But suppose if we don't see the fields over here, then how do we have access to it? Over there we used to have two different profiles, in integration user and security user. So integration user was the profile which we used to give it, which we used to give the access of fields and objects over there. So over here, if we go, we can go to the setup and let us go to the permission set. We should be able to see oh my bad, this is an incognito, that's why. Let us try again. Yeah, this works. So over here we have Data Cloud Salesforce connector. So this is the permission set where we need to give all those object related permissions and field related permissions too. So if this particular permission has it, then we will be able to see them under data streams. So suppose this is the data stream, I can click over here on this particular data stream, and I can go to add source fields. So whatever fields which I have not selected yet into this data stream, I can select it from here again and add it. So that's how it works for an org where you have Data Cloud and CRM Analytics both in a single org. So yes, this is again a thing, again a requirement, that in order to utilize DMOs directly to Data Cloud the way we are going to talk more about it later, we need to have both of them in same org. And we can also connect to external sources like we have done over here. We have connected to a different CRM org. This is the name which alias I have given to that particular org. And from this only we are fetching these data streams. And over here we can see that we have a org ID which is appended as suffix over here in order to just differentiate, because we might be adding multiple orgs over here and we might get confused, like there are like multiple contacts from those multiple orgs. So just in order to identify them, we have this thing over here. Okay, so similarly, if for the same org related data, if we want to fetch from here, then we need permission set which we talked about, data cloud Salesforce connector, and the user which whose credentials we have connected this new org, all the permissions which that particular user is having, that those fields and objects will be able to use it from that org. So what I mean by that is when we click on new and when we try to connect another org, what we'll see is it will give us a normal Salesforce login. So if we click on anything, if we log in with that any particular user, then what all permissions that particular user is having, same permissions data cloud will be able to have it, and as respect with respect to the fields and objects. So similarly we have fetched these things, and now we are moving ahead for creating a DLO. So for now we'll just start with opportunity, and we'll start with account. So in account, we'll just select a couple of fields as of now, just account ID, account name, the key qualifier. This will be blank for now, but yeah, we'll just taking it. Yeah, I guess we just need this one for now. Then let us take one more for opportunity. Let's take account ID. We'll have this name, probability, product, total amount. Anything else do we need? ID itself. Let's take this. Okay, that would be it. Okay, so similarly, it gives us the same sort of UI which we had over there in CRMA. We are able to see it, and in the same way, we will be able to, have it join. We'll name it. And the columns from account, we already have the account ID, so we'll just have the name, nothing else. Yeah. So this is how we just we do it the same way we used to. But one change which we could notice over here is we don't have a lookup multi-value checkbox which we had in the recipe over here. So this tool is still, like, it's still in the process of evolving. So it has a couple of things which were not, I mean, which are not still available. So we'll be making a list of those things while we go. Okay. So other than this, what we'll do next is we'll also add a couple of more things which could be a product. Then let's go for contact point. We'll go for this, and we'll also go for account contact. And over here for an individual, we'll select a couple of fields. We don't need this, I believe. This occupation. Okay, this is for individual, and for product, I believe we just need. Did we take individual ID? Yes, we did. And for product, we'll be taking product family name. Okay, all good. Okay, seems good. Okay, so over here we have taken account contact, and we will also take contact, which is, yeah, contact is individual anyway. So if we go back to the contact, and if we, this is the contact data stream, and what we are doing is we are going at this particular section which is under data mapping. We are going to review this. If we review this, what we see is a single object contact, how it is, saved internally, how it is mapped with the internal objects fields. Internal objects are nothing but the DMOs, the standard DMOs. So we have a standard DMO which is called account contact. The account ID we can see that it is being mapped over here. Then again, the contact ID is being mapped at this place, and it is also being same thing is mapped at individual. So basically, contacts are split. Contacts is being split into multiple things. So we can say it is being normalized in a way. So we have all the fields related to address under contact point address. We have all the fields related to email under contact point email, contact point phone, and similarly other general fields which we have over here, those are under individual. So over here also, if we have, suppose if we have this mobile phone which is not listed over here directly, which didn't get mapped by itself, then we can still map it. We can find a relevant field at this side, and all we need to do is click on this and click on the field over at this side after that. So suppose, just an example, yeah, we can just click it over here and that will get mapped. Okay, yeah, so what we see over here is contact has been split into multiple objects over here. So that's the reason if we will be taking individual over here as well, and we also want to map this individual to the account, but we don't have account ID over here. We have individual ID, and this object account contact would work as a junction object for between individual and account. It is going to have account ID. It is also going to have individual ID. We can also use this one over there. Yeah. So as we move on and we create different joins. So for now we are joining this and this. Then I want to join individual with opportunity. So over here, keep editing. I'll be using let's join. So contact ID which we had an opportunity will be individual ID over here. I'll save this. For this, we'll again just change the join. Okay, and we'll rename it. Yeah, we can rename it the same way which we did over there. In a way, it is contact. That's why we've written like this. So again, both of this will we need to connect individual and contact, and then we'll be able to link it with account. So we'll do the same thing. Let us join it over here. And this we can directly join with account. And basically what we'll do, we'll just have we'll just aggregate those things. For now we'll just have a number. We don't we won't create a separate node for that particular reason. We can directly do it over there. But yeah, for time being, what we'll do is we want to count individual IDs, group by that account. We want to connect these two. Yeah. So one more thing which I would like to highlight: when we join these characters, we do add some suffix over here, but it also has a limitation where we can't add more. Suppose we have this particular field which is already a longer one. So yeah, if we add like more characters over here, then it will give us an error. So the maximum number of characters which are allowed here for an API name is supposed to be it is 40 characters. So again, why is that? Because in the background everything is working on SQL over here, and so that is one of the reason. And SQL has this particular limitation that everything has all the API names has to be within 40 characters limit. So this is still going to go, and sometime this error will only get towards the end, towards the final node, where whichever we whenever we create that. So suppose, I mean, the final output node if we are creating, then towards that particular node only, while saving this into final node only, we'll be getting that error, and in between we will not get that error. It will allow us in future, but yeah, towards the end we still need to do it. So for now we'll just go and join product and opportunity. And for individual, if we want its address, then we again need to go over here and bring contact point address. So for now we'll just take these fields. And party, this is the field which will be joining it with the contact ID or individual ID. So go over here. So generally when we get this layer of prefixes like this, then we might hit that 40 character limit, and we might need to create extra transformations for those kind of things. Okay, so suppose now if we go to the transform node, what difference we see is we don't have a couple of features over here which we had over there. So which would be all the sentiment analysis, predict missing values, and those sort of features which are missing over here. And there are a couple of features like, I mean, which are still not working fine. But again, as it is an evolving thing, so this format date option should have been available directly from here itself, but it's not. So we need to go over here and create a custom formula and then change the format in that way. So other than this transform node, if we go to the output node, what we see over here is we see there is an option of creating new over here, and the second tab which is use existing. So this, what it means is, for the first time when we are creating output node, it is going to be default in this create new section, and we can give the name of the DMO. So suppose we say opportunity DMO V1. Let's give it a name. And over here we need to map it. We need to select which is the primary key of this particular DMO and which is the FQK of this particular DMO. So what FQK is, a fully qualified key. What this means is, suppose we are connecting data we are getting data from multiple data sources or multiple orgs, or even it could be across multiple platforms. So in that case, there are chances that the primary keys, whichever IDs which we have like this, we might get similar ID from another org. In same org, it is not possible. This will be unique across the org, all the IDs, all the primary keys. But across different orgs, there is a possibility we might still get same sort of keys. So that's why FQK is created. Basically, it might have like org ID or source ID, something like that, concatenated. I mean, this is the easiest way of this thing of creating an FQK. So that's just an example how we can create that thing. And for this, let me check if we have it or not. I believe we don't. So what I'll do is I'll cancel and I'll go back to opportunity columns, and yeah, this is the key qualifier field. I'll select it, so that is going to flow, and I'll create an output node again. So we'll create this and I'll select this as the primary key, and I'll select this as the FQK over here. So we need to select this both of these, and then we can click on apply to save it. But again, so this is one of the error which we are facing right now. So it is again some sort of glitch. So what are these? I'll tell you. So if we see, this is the batch data transform column, and this is the DMO column, the DMO which we are creating the fields from. I mean, whatever fields which are reached over here. So those columns are under this section. So over here, what it will do is it will create a metadata with these particular names based on whatever fields we have, and we are mapping this with that metadata with the actual field which we want. So this glitch, I need to paste it twice, and then it will get then it will get activated. So if we see now, it is. If I do first time, it won't. Yeah, I mean, it's still a baby. It is growing, it is evolving. But yeah, this is something which we will be using in future in some other way. And the last one, we need to map it. Yes, it's done. Okay, cool. So this is created. Okay, let me just name it like this, and we will save it. And let's just name it. So this is saved. I will delete this. No, we don't need it. We'll just create this for now. Okay. So we have a demo ready. So this is okay. This is processing. Okay, once I saved it, so that's why it is processing, and I can't save it while it is processing. That's what it's saying. So if we go over here and go under the data transforms section, this is the one which we have created right now. We can see its last run status. It's not run yet. We can select it and click on update status. Now it should allow us to save it again. Okay, cool. So now we can run it. We can also schedule it the same way we used to schedule the recipes. So once we do it, once it'll take some time, and we can click on this and we can check its refresh history over here. It'll take some time to get displayed over here, but meanwhile, what we'll do is, so suppose, I mean, it's not the case, right, where when we always have the exact requirements what we want to do very clear in the beginning itself. You create a first version of the recipe, and then you again go and make some changes and so on. So similarly, let's say we want to create a custom formula. We want to change the format of this particular field, which is close date, and format. Let me pick it from here. Yeah, we'll take this format itself. Okay. Okay, so if we create a new field, so this is the old field and here's the new one. We have the new date, and let me drop this column. Okay, so we are saving it in a new way, and When we go back, we see an error over here. It says we can't find the field this with this name as an input fields. So we did two things. First, we created a new field altogether, and second, we deleted an existing one. So this is handling how this is handling those changes. So the first thing which we talked about, it is going to create a metadata over here. So if we go, just a second, we'll check the status, we'll refresh it and see if it was run at the last time properly. Yeah, so last run was success. So what this means, we will be able to see that particular data model created. So these are the mapped ones, and if we want to see those custom ones, we need to click on all, and we can search for ours, which was with suffix v1. So this is it. So we are able to see that particular DMO over here. It has been created, and within that DMO, we can see this is the metadata of that particular DMO, like field names and their data types. So over here, it is expecting a field, a metadata is created for that particular field, but over here, but we are not passing it over here somehow because we deleted it. So it will give us an error. So we need to delete this, and we'll click on apply, and we'll save it again. So basically, it was expecting something which we have mentioned in the metadata. That's why it will give us an error while we have new fields created or remove the old fields. And at times, we also see things, the mappings do change, they shift upwards. If there are like multiple columns deleted, in that case we may see that the mappings have shifted like up in a way, so we need to do those mappings again. So that is again a little bit cumbersome at this point, but yeah, those are the glitches which we have at the moment. And one more limitation which I have noticed is it does have flatten. So multi-value fields, we can work on them within the BDT, but we can't save a multi-value field over here in a DMO to the output. So basically, we can't have output field as a multi-value field. We can still we can have it over here within while we do all the computations and all, but we can't have it in the output node because if we go here and if we see, if I click on edit, and if we can also add new fields from here into that particular DMO. So if I go and click add field, then the data types which it is supporting is just these four. The same data types which DLO has, and the same data type which DMO has: text, number, date, and date time. So we don't have a multi-value feasibility as of now. Okay, so this is all about BDT stuff. And now we will move on to the dashboard stuff. So what we'll do is we'll go to the dashboard. I have created one more BDT prior to this. We'll be utilizing DMOs from there. It's the same kind of BDT which we created, opportunity and account. We have two different DMOs getting created over here. One is having green of an account, and one is having green of opportunity. I have just rolled up number of opportunities over here, and similarly rolled up number of contacts which an account is having, and as it has went over there. Similarly, for an opportunity, we have taken a couple of account related fields, have joined it with product. Over here, we have an individual and contact point address, and we are joining it with a opportunity. So we are getting a couple of details of the customer, and we are creating the opportunity DMO. Yeah. So now we need to have CRM Analytics org enabled within the same org where Data Cloud is residing. That is the only way to have it, to have the features of which we are going to access now. So what I mean by that is I'll go and click on this and open this dashboard. Okay. So this is a dummy dashboard which we have created. And if I go and create a query, what I see is this particular thing, which is new, which is Salesforce Data Cloud. Over here, we will be able to connect, we'll be able to use these particular things, DLOs, as in, I mean, we can compare these as uh, input source to the dashboard. We can use DLOs directly, we can use DMOs, and we can also use calculated insights. But uh, we will be using DMOs for now, and DLOs, I mean, based on the client requirement, but generally we should not use DLOs because DLOs will be, there'll be multiple DLOs for same object. If a client, if a person is using data cloud, that means their data is spread across multiple orgs or multiple sources. So there will be like same account object, same account DLO will be from different orgs. So in order to, have things simplified and make a proper use of data cloud, we'll be utilizing DMOs over here. So yeah, so importance of having that in the same org, this is the thing, this is the feature which we'll be able to see it. Otherwise we won't be able to see it, this particular feature. And there is no other way as of now, or no other connector that suppose if we have data cloud in a separate org and we have a different org which is having CRM analytics. So even if, I mean, the connections part, if we go into the connections part, we don't have any connector as of now which would, help us directly to that particular data cloud org. Or I mean that if even if we just connect to some other org differently directly, then we won't be able to access DLOs, sorry, DMOs in that way. What, you got that right? So yeah, so that is the importance of having both the things at one place. And here we go to the dashboard, and now we'll start creating a couple of things over here. From DMOs, so let's say we have account. Yeah, so we have to group it by, okay, let's see what all things we have. yeah, we have op count over here. So if we want to, so what we'll do is we'll go here and sort it, group it by account ID, and here we'll have, so the UI of the dashboard, I mean, everything will work similar, the same how it used to work in the previously. What change we will see is, I'll change this to, yeah. So the change which we will see is if we go and edit this, and if we go over here, we will see things are working in the backend on SQL. So SAQL won't come into picture when we are working with DMOs. It will be pure SQL. And again, there are different types of SQL bindings. They will work. Similarly, we have SQL bindings. So there are, yeah. So there is a different syntax of SQL bindings. So people also used to make bindings directly at the SQL level, in the query level. They used to go, if there are two ways, right? If we can also go over here in advanced editor, we can go and create, and then we directly put it over here, the binding. But people also used to directly go into the SQL mode and add the bindings there. So for that particular thing, we will require SQL bindings, and I'll share a link, a blog link for the same. For SQL bindings, they have this. It's the same thing, just with different syntax. It will have as uh, SQL where SQL having SQL group by. So based on at what part of the query you are placing the binding, they have as SQL where. So if it is in where condition, if it is in select, then as SQL select. So that sort of things are there for SQL bindings. And one more thing which I would like to highlight would be, we don't have security predicates over here as of now. So previously we used to have data sources and data assets, and on that data asset we could have the security predicates, or we also used to have it over here, but we don't have it at this place, and neither at the front end level. So for now, up to this release, in future releases it might be there. So it's a similar kind of thing when recipes were first introduced. At that time it was being developed, it didn't had a couple of features which data flow used to have. The same way BDT is right now in the growing stage. It's And once it is developed, it is going to be the best tool to work on. And it's the same way how uh, recipe had given done performed with compare as compared to the data flows. The same way this is going to be way ahead. And one more thing which I could say is, if we go to preview and if I click over here, we don't see the notification, configure notification option over here, which we get on the normal. Uh, if we create any widgets from like normal data set, then those are here, those are available. But uh, for now, for DMO related things, we don't have it. So I would like to keep this much as of now, and I'm open for the questions.
Wow, you covered quite a lot in short amount of time. Thank you, Parth. There are a couple ones I left over here, otherwise I felt like I was answering everything. One which you lightly touched upon is the syntax. So Giles, I don't know if you want to ask more in depth aside of what you've seen just now, or
Syntax of?
Yeah, no, I was just wondering. So I just learned that SACL is no longer being used. Very sorry about that. But I was also wondering, like in the recipe part, the transformation nodes, if you use the formulas over there, it's also like it's not SACL, it's not SQL, something in between.
No, it's SQL.
It's now SQL for data
pure
cloud?
SQL.
Okay, so that was basically my question.
Yeah, it will be pure SQL, yeah. Whatever we are going to see it over here, that will be pure SQL.
Yeah, okay. Right, cool. And then while I'm at it, do you also know what kind of how you can output the DMOs? Like, can you share it with, for instance, Tableau or Power BI, or like even because the question is about to be asked, Excel?
Correct. So yeah, so we can also output the DMOs. We can use it across various sources. So as we know that Salesforce is also they are also giving 2 Tableau developer licenses along with the data cloud. So ideally, they also want people to utilize this and export into any other BI tool. So yeah, that is possible. And we also have other things over here, which are like activations and those things. But yeah, those are again different topic altogether. But yeah, this is possible, and we can use these DMOs into different BI tools. We can do that. Yeah.
Cool. Thanks.
Brilliant. And Krishna, would you like just to cover your couple questions?
Yes, please. Sure. So yeah, thanks. Very good, clear presentation. So appreciate your time. I think one question you already answered on the security predicates and the multi-value fields. So that, okay, we will wait for it. No choice. In terms of the running the scripts, the jobs, in CRMA, you can run only one at a time. Is this multi-concurrency, only one? What's the flexibility here?
Okay, so for that, I need to check and I'll get back on this one. I don't have the exact count for the same. I got your question. You like the same. We have like one recipe at a time and multiple data flows at a time on a production org. That's what the same way. How many VPs can run at a time?
Yes, please. Yeah.
Right. I will get back to you.
Correct. Okay, thank you. Because that's one big challenge for us. If it solves that, it's a plus to migrate.
Yes, and we also have this in like one of the recent releases. We got this option to switch those concurrencies among each other within data flows and recipes. So yeah, we can have that. Suppose more data flows are not working at that particular time, we can use that concurrency number to run more number of recipes at a time.
So is that something I need to call Salesforce to make a change? I do it on this front end, automatic. I had kind of heard about it, but I've not done it yet.
Yeah, so that's one of the new feature which they have introduced for CRMA. Yeah, so
okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, I lost myself in the chat. So any other question? Unmute yourself.
I think Evan has a question.
My question is, you mentioned that it would have its own access to the quote-unquote global freeway of jobs, right? Currently, Wave Analytics has 4 with CDP. Yeah. Would it have its own access, or would it be like a data processing engine where it shares those access with ICE Analytics?
Okay, yeah. So it will be totally different. It won't interfere with what we have in CRMA. It will have its own different processing within the data cloud itself. So it's just that the output of those BDT, that is the thing which we are using it over here in CRMA. But the processing part, that is done at the cloud level.
And how often can you run two of them at the same time? Is it one at a time, or are those hourly limits globally, 24-hour limits, 30-day limits, etc.? Are they similar to what we've known with Wave, or is it different?
Definitely, there will be these kind of limits, but yeah, I need to check on those limits, number of concurrent and the limits. Yeah.
I threw a curveball. Thank you, by the way. Your presentation was great.
Thank you.
Evan Purvis, I think you had a question as well, right?
Yeah, it's just in chat. I felt it was easier to type it out. Just whether or not, like, I'm not sure if you guys have any examples either on like Salesforce Blogger or like official documentation that shows the difference between like the SQL and SACL bindings. Because I'd imagine like a lot of larger companies that have set up engagements where they have existing CRMA pipelines through recipes into dashboards are actively using full SACL bindings. And if they want to incorporate any sort of data cloud stuff in the future through a DMO, like if they're going to be using SQL, can they be used in tandem? And then is there some blog post or documentation somewhere that shows the same binding from a DMO and this as it would be also in like a SACL query?
Yeah, so Salesforce Blogger, it does have that particular blog. Salesforce Blogger itself,
okay, sweet.
salesforceblogger.com. Yeah, I'll share that link, and maybe Ines could help us, trigger it to you all. So we do have that blog, and over there they have nicely described all about those binding syntax, the new syntax for SQL, and yeah, the old one we all know about it, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you. Great presentation, by the way.
Thank you.
Any other questions from anybody?
So you said SAQL, SAQL is going away. Will that then have the option of still doing SOQL queries and dashboards with CDP? Or is it literally just going to be SQL only?
Yeah, it is SQL only. If you go to the advanced query editor, it will be SQL only into the query mode. Yeah, SQL only.
Why is that? I'm just curious. Why is that? Or is that just because it's industry standard now?
Maybe they want to, have common things across. I mean, they want something more common and more easier. So maybe anyone from any background who's working, he might be familiar with SQL, right? So that might be the reason which they want to make it.
Okay. No, thanks. I know the why is not fair to ask, but I appreciate it.
Just to clarify, they're not discontinuing SAQL from use, right? Like they're just making it so you can't use it in a DMO.
So it's just when you are using DMOs. Other than that,
yeah.
When you're using our normal things, normal data sets and normal recipes, it's all SAQL.
Yeah, so they're only moving away from SAQL within the data cloud editions.
Yeah.
So correct. The SAQL stuff's still going to work perfectly fine going forward, at least for the foreseeable future.
Correct. Because the data cloud behind, they are using SQL itself for whole data cloud.
Will there be any Einstein discovery implications with data cloud, or is Einstein discovery still going to be housed within CRMA and can be referenced by data cloud at all, or is it completely separate?
I don't have an idea about it. Need to check with product teams for the same. Have been working with them lately while working on this, but yeah.
You have to have all the answers. I'm just kidding.
Even if I did know, I couldn't tell. There are within the next few years, there will be a couple of things which will move the ground beneath your feet. Couple of things coming on, but yeah, it's all good. All we could say
What's your favorite thing about what you learned about CDP? What's your favorite thing or favorite feature?
Favorite feature is the main feature of that particular thing itself, which is the data unification thing. When people are literally having their data across like multiple sources, which could be a legacy systems or which could be again different clouds, Then again, in different clouds, they call the same things with different names. So again, to unify those and see a complete picture. So that's what they call it, single source of truth. So that is going to be there in the future, and they are going to use data cloud as it's at its best. I mean, they're going to put it in use into all different clouds, and they are going to make it in a way. They'll be making people to use it. They'll be enforcing it in a way that I am not sure if I should use this word, but yeah, in a way, we'll be using data cloud in some way or other way if we are connected to Salesforce.
Cool. Okay. If there are no further questions, going once, going twice,
so
going 3 times. Okay. We want to say a big thank you to Parth for that presentation. Thank you very much. That was very informative, very insightful for a lot of people. That would have been their first view of Data Cloud altogether. So thank you very much for that.